So this is my really good friend Rachel, and she home educates all 3 of her children. So I thought it'd be really good to kind of interview her so you could get a feel for why she's stepped away from the traditional educational system and why she's decided to home educate all 3 of her children.
Yeah, Darla was in year 2 when she came out. So she came out because she does have additional needs.
Yeah. Would you mind sharing? Because it'd be useful.
No. She has severe sensory processing disorder. Which means that she really struggled in the classroom environment and just the general school environment. The noises, the smells, the colours, the change, everything like that. And she also has autism. So again, with the routines changing and just the different things that happen in school that you can't control, they would be something she had to cope with every single day, and she'd mask it through the school day, and then, oh my God, we'd get the cola bottle effect. When she'd come home from school, it would be like, ah!
I bet a lot of you know what that's like, right?
It was literally like, what has happened today? But obviously you don't get a lot out of children. At the end of the day, they are shattered. Because your child just comes back and they're not regulated. They're not themselves, and you can see they've been suppressing so much all day. So it was kind of realising, this isn't our daughter, and it's having a huge effect. It's a big chunk of their week. It's 5 days a week, so up to 7 hours a day. It's a lot. And then obviously you've got the Sunday where a lot of children are very anxious as well. So really we were only getting a Saturday where our child was really content and happy, and that wasn't balanced for us.
And so how did you go about setting it up? Because if you're a parent, you're probably thinking, and you're just getting into this, like, where do I start? So how did you get your head around that and think, right, this is what I'm going to do?
So obviously a lot of people, if you've sort of pondered into this, talk about unschooling, which means stripping your kids back for a minute, taking a minute to breathe, because it's quite a stressful situation when your child's been in school. It's a big decision. Everyone who does it wishes they did it sooner. I do. I meet people their kids have never been in school, and I'm like, I'm jealous of you. Why didn't I know then what I know now? But so we kind of stripped it back. We chilled a minute. We learned about subjects that were interested to her. We took trips to the library. We took walks. We chatted. And then it was like, right, her nervous system had calmed right down. Let's get into learning.
To get rid of that stress, rather than stressing, thinking, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to. Just relax.
And don't try and create school at home, because you can't. Because that's what you've removed your child from. So you need to take a complete different approach. But obviously, I also want my children to learn, and I wouldn't say I follow the curriculum fully, but with maths and English, I do. They can choose science. They can go with their interest. So what I did was to take the curriculum for her age, go through it, and I started to work through that with her with the foundation subjects.
Where did you get? Just obviously for people to know, where would you find the curriculum? So she was age
year 2, so she was 7, 8.
So where did you go to find?
I went to Twinkle website. And I did a lot of research of what she should be learning. I obviously had to take into account what she had missed out on as well. So I took her back a year because I thought there's so many gaps there, because she was in such an anxious state. I knew that I needed to take it back, that she hadn't fully been present and learning during that.
That's the beauty of home education, right? There's no, you have to be at this point, you have to be at this point. You can start from where
you are, where you should be for you. And then I literally highlighted. I literally got myself my own mum home ed folder. I had dividers for each subject that we wanted to learn, and as she would go through and secure, I would highlight that off. Darla secured that.
Are you quite an organised person?
I have to be. But it's how I run.
Were you before this?
Not as organised, but I work better when I've got a clear workspace and their folder. You have to prepare. What do they say? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. I have to. Sundays for me are all about getting the resources for the next week. So printing bits off, planning, because your week just runs so much better when you get up on a Monday. And listen, we do it after a half term. Some Monday mornings I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? I haven't planned anything. So I have learned, you have to take that time out over the weekend to get prepared.
So if you're someone who's not very organised, then your advice would be to make sure you've got a prepared workspace, make sure you've got a plan.
All of my children have like a spreadsheet of their week on. I mean, there's space for movement, but we like to know what tutors are coming in, when they're coming in, if they do Zoom lessons, what time the Zoom lessons are. So we know when our free time is, we know when we're knuckling down. We usually knuckle down in the mornings. We can get a lot done, and then we can just go out and socialise, which they obviously love as well, so it's best of both.
And so what? Yeah.
So this is kind of, it's got everything they need in it, because we have all of their files over here, which has got, you know, all of their work in their maths, their English, their Spanish, everything they do.
Yeah.
But then they've also got the area where they can come and craft, they can be creative, they've got their keyboard, everything like my younger ones like doing. We've got some of Darla's artwork on the wall. Everyone loves to throw into the world map, because that's
Love that.
quite a constant conversation.
Love that.
Because but yeah, it's just about having a clear workspace that's away from your home.
When you started off, obviously home ed was new to you. Where did you do it?
No, we were just finding space. We were at the breakfast bar, or we was on a coffee table, and then this slowly comes together, because your children, it naturally sort of came together because they need resources and they need things. So all of a sudden you're on Amazon and you've got all this stuff coming through, and then you need space for that stuff. So it really worked, to be fair.
So if you're someone that's new to home education and you had to summarise what your top 3 tips are, what would they be? What would be your top 3 tips for home educators?
Don't panic and doubt yourself. You've been brought here for a reason. There's a reason, and you can do it. You can do it. Don't think for a second you can't, because you can do it. My second would be prepared. Be prepared, even if it's rough. Even if you have just taken your children out and you're doing a little bit of the unschooling, where you are taking trips to the library, having a walk, or just going, what do you want to learn about today? Like, kids have random interests and random questions. So, but even if you're doing that, it does help to have some, because you can find yourself lost sometimes, and that can feel a bit daunting, because at the end of the day, you've made this decision, and when you find yourself in that lost space, it can feel a bit, I'm going to have done the right thing. So just have a rough plan. It can have movement. It hasn't got to be solid at all. And the other thing is, just probably don't be so hard on yourself. Some days you achieve so much and your kids achieve so much. Like, we've just come back after, we had a couple of weeks off after Easter, because obviously it's up to you now when you do these things, but we did. We closed classroom. We had a couple of weeks off, so we did. We were like, right, that's done. Let's put the books away for a bit, not have tutors in and out, and it was really nice. And coming back to it, because I prepared, Monday and Tuesday have gone so well, and it makes me so happy, because sometimes after a break, you come back and you're like, oh, what are we doing? So don't be hard on yourself, because you have got leeway. If you do have a day where your kids aren't feeling it and you can't get their attention and whatnot, there's tomorrow. Do a bit more tomorrow, because you can do that, or do some learning in the evening.
Start fresh.
You're not on school times. You're not 9 till 3. Oh my God, we've lost it. No, do it later on if they're chilled, or someone holds a home ed event. Go to it and catch up, because you can catch up, and that's the other thing. So.
All right, thank you. So obviously, if you've got any questions, it'd be really good to hear from you, and we can do more interviews like these that are going to be useful for you. It's just really what you want to find out about. You've got like a whole host of knowledge.
Oh, she's
been doing this for years, and I'm telling you, I'm not just saying it because from my friend. She does an amazing job, and you've seen all 3 of her children. They're absolutely spectacular. So if you've got any questions, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you, and I hope to speak to you soon. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.